Well, actually, I'll speak for us. Yeah, I'm a London groupie, so I mean, I like to hang out here whenever I can get some time off. I like to come out here because I'm a bit of a I mean, I have a problem with clothing. I mean, I like to collect jackets, pants, shoes, belts, bags, uh, with antiques, books. In
Heels.
this city actually really draws me in. But even more importantly than that, I mean, the music has really influenced us over the years, and we like the people too. But I'd say probably the main obvious reason is the fact that we want to take on London. We want our music to be played over here because we think that it's. I think that the English people would love this music. I mean, I really do. I think we break a lot of stereotypes in a lot of different countries and places. I think you got a really good selection of stuff over here that I tend to like. I mean,
It's one thing if you lived in New York, but we live in Nashville. So
I mean, you have Paul Smith like mega stores over here. We get Paul Smith by maybe like 5 or 6 pieces on a rack.
I think it's interesting because we've always had a desire to come here and do our music, but we've never had the timing has never been right. And we were with a smaller label before here, and now that Virgin has picked us up, we're looking forward to some doors opening, and we want to work as hard as we can because as Kevin said, we feel like the people would dig what we're about, and there is something behind our music. We're very passionate about our musical statements and. Hopefully moving society to a better place, all of society, including ourselves. We grew up in Washington, D.C., Michael and I did. Kevin was the Yank that from Michigan.
I'm as far north as you can get, man.
We're all Yanks to you guys, but he was the Yank for us.
I'm a dark, sarcastic one.
Mike and I grew up in Washington, D.C., and, the name was kind of given to us. Actually, some people called us that, I guess, because we're from D.C., and maybe we chatted all the time or something. I don't even know. But we took it and made it work. I mean, it's obvious that it shapes some things when it comes to our country. But it doesn't have the feel that New York has. It doesn't have the feel that some of the other major cities, Chicago. It's just not those cities. There's not that much art and culture. There's not, there's an international flavor, but it's of the political genre. It's not as much, it doesn't feel as cosmopolitan as London by any means.
We call it Nash Vegas. I mean, if you've lived in Nashville for more than 5 years, you call it Nash Vegas. And we love Nashville. We're still there. I mean, we've been there for 10 years, and I've had 3 different homes in Nashville, moved here and there, and now I found a place that I think I'll be for at least 10 years, hopefully. And I think the allure to Nashville is that it is the biggest musical community on the face of the planet. It's the only place that you can get into a studio at any time during the day. I mean, there's more studios per square foot in Nashville than anywhere else. And it's also it's alluring to people in big cities because it's a small city way of life. I mean, it's a lot more neighborhoody. It's a lot more it's a lot more intimate. And people love as musicians they love coming there because they can lay back. They can go into a pancake house and just chill out and not have to feel the barrage of people constantly, and but still get into a really good studio, and the rates are okay. I mean, you have to pay
cheaper than L.A.
Cheaper than L.A., cheaper than New York, probably cheaper in some place, obviously, than London. I mean, the pound is. We're gonna have to do something about that, but.
You'd be surprised at this is interesting at who lives in Nashville. I mean, I'm pumping gas the other day, and Peter Frampton's pumping gas next to me, and
Eddie Lizard and
No, doesn't Bob Dylan has a place there?
Bob Dylan has a place that used to live down the street from me. There was
Doesn't Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, was that rumor?
Tom and Nicole they bought land. A lot of people are buying land out in Franklin, outside of Nashville right now, for horses, and there's actual a very, very, very expensive boarding school for kids that a lot of celebrities are sending their kids to right now, because it's like one of the best school systems in the United States.
I don't think that Nashville musically has influenced us at all. I really don't. I'm trying to think.
Not really.
I really don't think it has. I think that we have our sound, and we're ever evolving in our sound, but I don't think the influence comes from Nashville. I think it comes from our lives. It comes from us evolving as people. It comes from us growing as individuals and stretching ourselves musically.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think that in the States, rock and roll was birthed out of the church. It's like Elvis was just taken from things that he heard from the Blackwoods. And the Blackwoods were taken from things that they heard from just being in church. And Pentecostal churches and whatnot. And I think over here you've got a very markedly different church system over here, and things are just a little different. And I think that. If you're in the church, it means a certain thing over here. And in the States, it's a lot more. There's not as many, parameters or walls up. I mean, there's a lot of, you can play rock and roll in a church, and it's accepted in some places. Other churches, not so much. I mean, there's still those churches that are kind of steeped in legalism and whatever. But I mean, dcTalk has always been about breaking that down. I mean, from the beginning, we've been making music that. We think that anybody could come out and listen to, regardless of what religion, and we're trying to maintain that as much as possible. Even obviously over here in England.
I think Kevin might want to say something also, but I think for us, I mean, there's always that battle. I mean, to be stereotyped this church rock band, I mean, is rather strange. And that was never something that we went after. I mean, we want our music to fall on open ears. You know what I mean? And if that keeps it from falling on open ears, that's unfortunate. I mean, I think most artists, if their music is passionate, if you're passionate about what you're doing as an artist, what's in your heart is going to come out in your songs. I mean, we're talking about real life here. And that happens to us, you know what I mean? We have faith in God. It comes out in our songs. I mean, sorry, but we also have relationships with other human beings. That comes out in our songs. I love my wife. That comes out in my songs. I mean, so for us, it's just like these are natural things coming out. I mean, and I think, the last thing we want to be is preachy. That's not what we are. I mean, it's just naturally our art comes from our souls and our hearts. And that comes out, and I think it's for everybody, as Kevin said. I don't think anybody's gonna be, oh my God, they're driving me crazy with that. I don't think we're a pop band, you know what I mean? Sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, to us, it's not about the church either. It's about Jesus, and it's the big difference between what Jesus was about and what the church is about to me. A lot of times, the church takes what Jesus was about and kind of messes around with it. Obviously, it's different. Church is different to a guy in Belfast, Ireland, than it is to a guy in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, and that's why I think that when you take on the moniker of Jesus music, it's different than trying to take on the moniker of a gospel or a Christian music singer. It's like I don't even know what that means. What is a Christian music singer? Does it mean he sings about things that church agrees with, or does he just sing about spiritual things? I mean, we can't be titled because we sing about a lot of different things. We sing about everyday life. We sing about love. We sing about
and if you
racial
relations.
problems and
And if we do believe in those teachings, I mean, obviously loving your brother, thinking serving someone, thinking about others' needs before your own needs. I think our society, as well as the whole world, could use a little dose of that.
Yeah, I mean, the blues are really easy to write from and gain, inspiration.
The progressions are easy too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. If we, I mean, I think that the thing about writing positive music to me is you just got to write really what you feel, but you also got to think, how is this affecting somebody? And I think that when you write a positive song, it's usually because you want to affect somebody and you want to project something good onto that person, something positive. For me, it's like I think dcTalk we have a really good mix of both. I mean, people might think of us as a happy up band, but I don't see us as that. I see us as a band that takes on a lot of different issues.
Full of emotions. I
mean, we can poke fun at ourselves too. I mean, none of us in this band thinks he's a professor or anything. I mean, we're trying to figure out what it's all about as the day goes on too. But yeah, I think the world on a whole right now would like more positive music. I can tell that, especially in the States where we were bombed by all the grunge music. I mean, pretty soon, you see the guy whining about being on the stage at the award show, and you're thinking, well, what are you there for then, man? If you're going to go whine, go sit underneath a tree and whine about it with your acoustic guitar, but don't bring it on the stage.
Full of despair. Yeah, we hope so. I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years now. I mean, it's obvious that we're not a flash in the pan by any means. I mean, we're serious about what we're doing. We want to make art that lasts, songs that people will be singing 20 years from now. I mean, and I think they're buying a blend of three guys' lives, three guys' talents that are very diverse people. So I think there's something out there in dcTalk for everyone. And also, hopefully we're taking them to new places. I think you're buying a ticket on a journey. I mean, because we have some funk, we have some things that cool you out, that make you think, that might get you angry. But all those emotions are good, and they can be used to hopefully better society. I mean, we don't think we have all the answers. We're just inviting you to our search. We're inviting you to our journey as we search for the answers and as we go through the troubling times of our lives. And we found out a long time ago we're not that different from anybody else out there. The problems we're having, the world can relate to. The victories we're having, the world can relate to, because they're having the same problems and the same victories.
Duran Duran's greatest hits.
For me, I have Lauryn Hill's record on right now. I just love it. I mean, I've been listening to more rock and roll over the past several years, but Lauryn has taken me somewhere really nice. I mean, I really like to listen to it.
I've got I love the new Manson record, actually, not Marilyn. Marilyn is like I can shut my eyes and know what he's going to be singing about, but the Manson over here in England, I really like them. I like what they're doing musically a lot. I think that I guess I'm kind of a progressive guy. I like all those sounds and everything. So, I mean, with dcTalk, I mean, we're a really weird musical hybrid. So whenever we hear a band that's kind of like mixing a lot of stuff up together, like Beck or like whoever else, we tend to like that. We tend to gravitate towards that more.
Kravitz's record is great. The new Lenny.
Yeah.
He wants to get away.
He wants to fly. We wrote that song with a Brit, man.
We actually wrote that with Dominic Miller, Sting's guitarist, best known as that. But
he's from Buenos Aires, but we won't hold that against him. The thing is that
but he lives here.
My friend Solon
and Mark Hudson, you know him, Hudson Brothers Variety Show, and he did produce Ringo's record. Sorry,
we call him Creamy Italian. But anyways,
Cream Puff.
The deal with that song is that I'm hoping that a lot of people can relate to that outside of a person that's in a band. The thing is, it might be a little more of a personal song than most on the record because, we've all had the feeling that, hey, what if I broke out of the band and became a huge rock star, and left the band and, eclipsed and it's kind of like Robbie Williams, what that guy's gone through. You know what I mean? It's like, what if we left the band, just up and left it? See, now he had a reason to leave, I guess, but it kind of like it forces the issue of sellout. I think that people grapple with from time to time when you're in the music industry. It's easy to sell out. It's easy to
forget where you came from.
Yeah, man, and then like all of a sudden take on some different thing that you're really not, just to sell records, and it's harder to be yourself. Really, I think, and that's where the song was birthed out of,
It's like sort of fictional. A fourth member. It started as a fourth member, a fictional fourth member, up and leaves the band and becomes a major star, and really it's from our perspective. We're dealing with, what do we feel about this? We're proud of him. We're seeing him on MTV and VH1 and Rolling Stone. We're proud of him, but we're sort of jealous. We're happy for him, but we're sort of upset with him for quitting our band, So it's like, and then when we shot the video, and Kevin, Mike, and I, really we wrote it saying this could be any of us. Any of us could succumb to that temptation. You know
Actually,
what I mean?
I'm succumbing to it right now. Trying out for a movie here, and
tired of my voice. He's succumbing to it.
Yeah, we played at the Borderline about 2 years ago, and it's a great show, man. We love playing in small dives, with writing all over the wall. I mean, we like that. The thing is that what we do best is bigger gigs, and we're hoping that we can come back here and do some bigger gigs, and sell out Albert Hall, the whole deal. So we'll figure it out. We're trying, and
straight from the Borderline to Wembley.
I don't like Wembley so much, man. It's a little too big, but you know what I mean.
I think live is important to us because we're passionate about what we're doing, and I think you can't fake passion on stage. I think you can fake it on a record. You're behind the walls, no one can really see you, but on stage, either you mean what you're saying, either you're passionate about what you're doing, or you're not. And I mean, I think we'd be proud to go in front of anyone because we know we're passionate about what we're making, the art we're making, the musical statements we're making, the lyrical statements we're making. Kevin's already confessed his clothing.
Yeah, that's only a scratch on the surface, man. I'm a big spender. My wife gives me hell for that because, it's like, now I've got to deal with a wife. I've got to deal with, possibly having kids in the future and all that. So I gotta be careful.
Be a little more thrifty.
Yeah, I gotta be a bit more thrifty. But I like the cars, and I like the house, and I like the furniture and everything. But the thing about it is
cars
that,
were a great band. I mean, I know where you're going to.
It doesn't go with you when you die. So
you're wasting all your time.
Nice.
No, for me, it's, believe it or not, I love work. I mean, Kevin's already quoted me as a workaholic. It's true. I mean, and the thing is, but with work, when you're starting things, comes investment. And I like the music business, so I've invested in a few bands here and there, and it's enjoyable to me. I love it. When we take time off, I dive into production or whatever.
I'm big on family. I mean, I just think that you should stick by your family. I mean, if they're gonna if they're gonna help you out for the first 16 or 17 years, I think that you should do the same. But yeah, man. I mean, you can't take it with you, man. What are you gonna do with your freaking new Jaguar when you're in the box? You can't do nothing. So you're right. I think it's a great theory.
Well,
but while I'm here, I'm going for the new Aston Martin Advantage. I'm going for that. So
but you got to take care of your kids because, as they say, you start out changing their diapers and they end up changing yours. So get the nappies ready. I think completely bored with the word. But at the same time, it's when you dare to go beyond where you should be walking, then you have to pay the price. I mean that's
he should be impeached.
I mean
there's no doubt about it. The guy should be impeached.
It's still a boring word at this point, but I agree with Kevin. I mean, when you go beyond, when you take too many steps outside of the lines, something you have to pay the fiddler. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he needs to pay the fiddler from my perspective, and I'll just keep it at that, Kevin.
Man, I think he's a freaking spaghetti-o, man. It's like he can't even owe up to the fact that what he did. I mean, if it would have been the beginning, and he just said I was wrong, we wouldn't be in the middle of all this stuff. And I think that it's harsh, but you have to pay for your mistakes, and he's like everybody else. It's almost the thing that gets me the most angry is that he's acting like he's more important than anybody else, and he should be able to get away with it. And to me, you're a civil servant, man. I mean, you were elected by the people to work for the people. So do you think that you're better than that and shouldn't be able to be forced on the same issues in court as another person? And that's, I think that's where most people are right now, even though some of them might not think that he did anything really wrong. I mean, a lot of people think that moral issues don't have to deal with running a country. That's real subjective when it's about the fact that he lied and that he's trying to cover up everything. And
on the human side, I mean, it's like I feel bad for him. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a side that says, I mean, I do. That's just the way I am. I mean, I would feel bad for any man that or woman that makes stumbles into that great of a temptation and succumbs to it. I mean, you just I mean, I would feel bad. I honestly pray for the office, and I even pray for him. I hope his family makes it through that storm. I'd
feel bad for him if he was more he wanted to be forgiven and he repented. You know what I mean? And repenting is a big deal for me. I mean, if you're not repentant and you just say I didn't do anything wrong, then I don't feel bad for you for what happens to you because you got what's coming to you. But if you repent and you're really broken about that, and he's really, sorry that he did that, then I feel like, well, yeah, then we need to give him favor and show mercy and grace, just like God gives to us every day. Every day we walk on this planet, he could blow us up. But at some point, he's going to have to apologize for what he did to Sodom and Gomorrah, you know what I mean? Because the way we're living,
We've always tended to be a band and individuals that just take it as it comes. I mean, we don't have like these big aspirations, and I mean, we didn't know if we'd win a Grammy Award. We didn't know if we'd sell 1 million records. I mean, we definitely knew that when we played in front of 100 people the first few times, there was a great response. There was a great reaction, and we thought, well, if 100 are going to react like this, 1 million would if we just get in front of them. So we've been confident, but at the same time, we take it as it comes. I mean, if we get a couple hit singles here, that'd be great. I mean, and we would welcome that. But who knows what tomorrow holds?
Prayer to us is it's very important. I mean, and I'm not just saying that. To us, it's about praying over the little things just as much as the big things. I mean, it's like it's consistency. To me, that's where the real relationship comes into play. I mean, when you're really talking to him all the time, I mean, that's when I think that God looks down and smiles, because it's like, you're taken out of, the thing is that there's a phrase that I really like that, Martin Luther used. He said that, I've got a lot of things to do today, so I'm going to spend more time in the Word, and he would, for every hour that he would have to do things, speaking or whatever, he would spend at least an hour praying. And I think that's a thing to have a goal, towards. I mean, I'm definitely not in that camp. I mean, I can't pray for hours during a day, but I mean, I pray for just everyday little stuff, man. When I'm walking around, I talk to him like he's my buddy, because he is, and I talk to him like he's my father, because he is, and I think that's the kind of relationship you should have with God.
I think I agree. I think I was going to say, in continuation, I think prayer is communing, and in communing, it's not just confession all the time. I mean, I think it's just like a friendship, confessing, seeking forgiveness, being thankful, and recognizing that, and also, it is what you said. It is the small requests that you ask. You know what I mean? The little things that, you don't think God cares about. Just, hey, praying for the little things from how many sales you're going to have to whatever. I mean, God wants to bless us,